Alright, so today we're going to do skill number 3. Skill number 3 is basically using the line of best fit and then interpreting what it means about a set of data. So actually, I'm not going to start on the first page. This one you can do on your own after we've done it. It kind of incorporates skills from skill 2 as well. But I'm actually going to do page number 21 with you. So if you turn to page number 21, it says, estimate a line of best fit equation and use it to estimate the number of downloads for a song with a 4-star review. So if you look at the situation, we're looking at downloads per day and the review. So basically this is saying the more reviews it gets and stars, so the better rating something has, the more downloads it's going to have, which makes sense. It makes sense that those are related. Because if a song is more popular than another, if it's better than one, it's probably going to have more downloads because people are going to tend to like it more. So that's kind of what our data is talking about. If you notice, there's already a line of best fit drawn, so we don't have to do that. That was skill number 2, to draw it. If you notice, though, it does accurately depict our data because there's the same amount of points below and above the line of best fit. So it's actually a great representation of the data that we have. So really we just have to write the line or the equation of a line and then use it to estimate the number of downloads. So if you look at our line here, the first thing we're going to do is the two things we need. So our line is going to be in y equals mx plus b. Okay, we're going back to that. And we know m is for slope. And the way we find that is rise over run with graphs, and then my y-intercept. Okay, so the y-intercept is not clear. We're going to have to do some work to figure out what that is, because this line doesn't continue far enough to go through the y-axis. So we're going to have to do a little bit of work. So to find the slope first, that's the first step I'm going to do. My rise over my run is I'm going to pick 2 points on my line of best fit. It has to be on the line of best fit. So this point is like super nice right there on the line, and this point is right on the line. So those are 2 really safe points that I can use. So if I connect them, I can make my little triangle here, and I have to figure out how much I'm rising and how much I'm running. So if you notice, this is going up by 10, so I'm actually rising 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm rising 20. Okay, and I'm going over, this one's counting by 0.5, so every 2 is 1. So I'm going over 1, 2 and a half. So I'm going 2.5 over. So my rise is 20 and my run is 2.5. So I'm going to actually put that in my calculator. So 20 over 2.5 is 8. So my slope is 8. I'm going to use my slope to find the y-intercept. So remember, I have to pick a point on the line. So this point right here is really nice. That's the point 325. And I'm going to use that to find my y-intercept. So if I write my equation of a line, I can use this x and this y to figure out what my b is going to be. So my y is 25, my my slope is 8, and my x is 3. So now I'm just going to solve for b. So 8 times 3 is 24. And bring that down. If I subtract 24 on both sides, run out of room here, b is equal to 1. So the equation of the line of best fit, I'm going to come back up here, is y equals 8x plus 1. My line is positive, so my slope is going to be positive. Make sure you double check to make sure those match up. Okay, and it says use this to predict the downloads for a song with a 4-star review. So 4-star review would be right here on my graph, so I'm going to use it to get an exact amount. So if I'm looking at 4-star review, that's my x value. So I'm going to plug this 4 in for x. So if I do that, y equals 8 times 4 plus 1. Okay, and so 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 is 33. So 33 downloads. So that is how I can use the line of best fit to predict other things. If it were going to give me how many downloads and it wanted to know how many stars that particular song had, then you would do the opposite. So say I wanted to figure out if something got 45 downloads, how many stars. So I would do the opposite. 45 downloads, that's my y. So I'd actually put 45 in for y instead of x. So I'd have 8x plus 1. That's my equation, and I solve for x. So I'd subtract 1 on both sides. I got 44 equals 8x divided by 8. 44 divided by 8 is x is 5.5, so it'd have about 5.5 stars. Okay, so that would be going, I'm going to label it backwards. I know this is kind of messy and we've done a lot, but basically we're just using the line of best fit to predict things. So the line of best fit tells me what best my data is trending, so I can use it to predict what my data is most likely going to look like. If my data points an outlier, no, it's not going to predict that, but it will predict it in the following the pattern of the data. So that is how you interpret the line of best fit. So really the trickiest part is to figure out what it's asking. If 4 stars is what's on your x-axis, then you're plugging in for x. If it asks how many stars for this particular downloads, they're giving you your y, so you're going to substitute that in for y and solve for your x. Okay? If you have any questions, come on over to the table.